right, let's dive deep into this Planet 9 thing. Everyone's buzzing about it, so we've got a really comprehensive report to go through, plus some fun pop culture stuff to unpack. Should be interesting.
Yeah, this is exciting. And it's kind of wild that this whole idea of a hidden planet messing with our solar system, well, it's been around for ages, like over a century, astronomers have been trying to put together this cosmic puzzle looking for what they called Planet X.
Oh, wow, so it's like a real-life space mystery, a scientific ghost story almost.
Exactly. So these early astronomers, guys like Percival Lowell, they saw these tiny wobbles in the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. And they couldn't figure it out. Like, none of the planets we knew about could explain those wobbles. So they thought, there's got to be something massive out there we just can't see, pulling on these planets with its gravity.
So, like, Planet X was this invisible force kind of lurking in the background.
Yeah. And get this, Lowell's search for Planet X actually led to the discovery of Pluto back in 1930. Big news at the time, right?
Pluto. But wait, didn't Pluto get, like, demoted?
You got it. In 2006, Pluto got reclassified as a dwarf planet. Too small to be a real planet. But here's the thing. That demotion kind of brought back the whole Planet X idea.
Oh, I see. Like maybe there really is a bigger, more massive planet out there, farther out than Pluto, hiding somewhere?
Exactly. And that takes us to 2016. These astronomers, Konstantin Batygin and Michael Brown-Yup, the same guy who helped demote Pluto, they started seeing weird stuff way out in the solar system.
Okay, things are about to get juicy. What do they find?
So they were looking at these trans-Neptunian objects, or TNOs, basically icy bodies orbiting beyond Neptune. And some of them, like Sedna and 2012 VP-113, their orbits are super stretched out and tilted in ways that just don't make sense with the planets we know.
So these TNOs are like rebels, not following the usual cosmic rules.
Exactly. And Batygin and Brown, they thought, hang on, the only way these orbits work is if there's a big unseen object out there, a Planet 9, with its gravity messing things up.
Whoa. So these little TNOs are like breadcrumbs leading to a hidden planet. It's like those mysterious planets you always see in sci-fi movies. Star Trek is always running into them. It's like Planet 9 is stepping out of fiction and into real science.
I love that comparison. And you're right, the idea of a undiscovered planet in our own solar system is like catnip for writers and filmmakers. And Planet 9 being so mysterious and potentially changing everything we thought we knew about our solar system, it's a perfect fit for those stories.
Science and fiction colliding. But how did Batygin and Brown actually investigate this further? I mean, it's not like they could just, point a telescope and see it.
Right, they had to get clever. They used computer simulations to model the whole outer solar system. And guess what? The only way they could make the model match what we see with those TNOs was to add in a fake planet. One with 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth, with an orbit so huge and elongated it takes 10,000 to 20,000 years to go around the sun once.
Whoa, it's like way beyond our human concept of time. So even if Planet 9 is out there, it's playing a super long game of hide and seek.
Totally. But even though we haven't seen it directly, its gravity is like leaving fingerprints everywhere. That's the best evidence we have right now.
So like we see the ripples in the pond, but not the rock that made them. It's kind of like how Planet 9's making waves in pop culture too. There's even a documentary called The Search for Planet X. Like, we're living in a science fiction story unfolding right now.
Totally. That documentary shows just how much people are captivated by this. I think it's because we all want to explore, push the boundaries, and find new worlds, even in our own backyard.
Exactly. Okay, let's bring it back to the science for a sec. If Planet 9 is so far away and so hard to see, how are they even looking for it?
Good question. It's a tough one. Finding something so faint and distant is like searching for a specific grain of sand on a massive beach.
Especially a grain of sand that's moving super slowly. So what's the game plan? What are they using in this cosmic treasure hunt?
Well, they're bringing out the big guns. We're talking the Subaru telescope in Hawaii. That thing's huge, with a mirror over 8 meters across. It's found tons of stuff in the outer solar system already, and it's sensitive enough that it just might be able to pick up the faint light from Planet 9.
So Subaru is like the veteran explorer.
You got it. And then there's the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile. That one's going to be online soon. It's going to scan the entire southern sky every few nights, getting incredibly sharp images.
It's like having a time-lapse movie, the whole sky catching anything that moves.
Exactly. Perfect for slowpokes like Planet 9. And there are other telescopes helping out too, even the James Webb Space Telescope. That one's great for infrared.
Wait, infrared? Wouldn't a regular telescope work better?
See, Planet 9 is so far from the sun that it's probably freezing cold, too faint to see in normal light. but it'll still give off a little bit of heat, and that's what infrared can detect.
So it's like using a heat-sensing camera to find a warm spot in a cold room.
You got it. So we've got this whole team of cosmic detectives, each with their own special skills, working together.
That's awesome. But even with all this tech, it's still going to take a while, right? To actually be sure they've found Planet 9.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like seeing a bright light and yelling Eureka. They need multiple sightings from different telescopes to make sure it's not a mistake. They have to carefully track how it moves over time to calculate its orbit and make sure it fits what they predicted.
So it's a slow and careful process.
Yeah.
Just like those early astronomers who first thought up the whole Planet X idea.
Absolutely. And once they've nailed down the orbit, then they can really start digging into what Planet 9 is like, its size, what it's made of, maybe even if it has an atmosphere or moons. Imagine that, a whole system of moons orbiting Planet 9, maybe even with hidden oceans.
Mind blown. That's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Like the gas giant in Interstellar with those weird planets orbiting it. Who knows what crazy stuff Planet 9 could have?
It's so exciting to think about, but for now, let's focus on what finding Planet 9 would actually mean. Like, how would it change what we know about our solar system?
Well, first of all, it would be a huge win for science. The whole Planet 9 thing started with these tiny gravitational anomalies, then people made mathematical models, and now we've got all these high-tech observations. It shows how powerful science can be, how we can use it to figure out the universe's secrets.
And don't forget the Oort cloud. That's that giant sphere of icy stuff way beyond the planets. Planet 9's gravity would be messing with it for sure, maybe flinging comets towards us.
Whoa, so Planet 9 is like a cosmic billiards player sending comets our way.
And those comets can tell us a lot about the early solar system, like how it all came together.
This is getting more and more fascinating. Okay, here's a big one. If Planet 9 is real, could there be life on it? Even way out there in the freezing cold?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Life as we know it probably couldn't survive on the surface. It's likely a gas giant like Uranus or Neptune. But what about its moons? Now that's interesting.
You're talking about those hidden oceans under the ice. Could there be life down there, even in such a remote and harsh place?
It's possible. We've seen hints of similar oceans on moons of Jupiter and Saturn, like Europa and Enceladus. They get heated up by the planet's gravity, and those oceans are considered top spots to look for alien life.
So even though Planet 9 might be a frozen giant, its moons could be bustling with activity under the surface. The possibilities are mind-blowing.
We're going to shift gears a bit and explore how Planet 9 has captured not just the attention of scientists, but also the imaginations of writers, filmmakers, and artists. We'll see how this hypothetical world has sparked creativity and blurred the lines between science and fiction, reflecting our deep fascination with the unknown.
But one thing that's really struck me is how much this has grabbed everyone's imagination. It's not just a science story. It's a story that's making its way into pop culture, into movies, books, everything.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. I think it speaks to that human need to explore, the idea of this hidden world out there just waiting to be discovered. It's like catnip for our curiosity about the universe.
It's like a classic theme, right? The hidden world, the unknown. Even before Planet 9 was a thing, the idea of a Planet X was showing up in stories.
Totally. Think about those old sci-fi books like A Princess of Mars with a whole civilization on a secret planet. Or those creepy H.P. Lovecraft stories where there's always something lurking in the shadows, just out of sight.
Those are great examples. Like, we've always been fascinated by hidden worlds, and now with the science actually pointing towards Planet 9, it's like those stories are becoming more real.
Exactly. And it's not just the old stuff. Think about Interstellar, that movie about finding new homes for humanity. It's not directly about Planet 9, but it has that same sense of adventure, of pushing the boundaries of what we know.
It's like science fiction is sometimes predicting the future, or at least getting us thinking about the possibilities. And then there's the documentary, The Search for Planet X, where we actually get to follow the scientists doing this real-life search. It's like we're watching a science fiction story unfold right before our eyes.
And if they do find Planet 9, it'll be more than just a scientific discovery. It'll be like opening a whole new chapter in storytelling.
Oh, yeah. The stories people could tell about a world that far out, that mysterious. We could have new alien life forms, crazy environments, maybe even entire civilizations that have adapted to living on Planet 9.
It really shows the power of curiosity, right? That drive to understand the unknown, to explore the universe, and figure out where we fit into it all. It's mind-blowing, and it just goes to show that science and art, they're not so different after all. They feed off each other, inspire each other.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive, I think what really stands out to me is how much impact Planet 9 has already had, not just on the science world, but on our imaginations, our culture.
And who knows what else is out there waiting to be found. The universe is full of mysteries, and I have a feeling we've only just scratched the surface.
That's a great thought to end on. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey to the edge of the solar system and beyond. It's been a blast exploring the mysteries of Planet 9 with you.